Edo. Edo. Welcome to the No Choftes podcast on the OLB. Hit that like button, subscribe, tell your NOUNA. This is an impromptu show. I didn't even plan to do this, clearly. So, in case you don't know, in case you've just received an alert to tell us or tell you that we've gone live, as you can see from the banner, from the headline, from the tagline, the deal is off. No more Papa John. And weeks of anticipation of a new takeover, a new owner, a billionaire owner, an Omonoia, a supporter of the club that wants what's best for the club. Not to say that the current owner does or doesn't, should I say. Here we go. As Fabrizio Romano says, it's not going to happen. And the announcement was made on Twitter. In case you haven't seen the thumbnail, I'm going to bring it up in just a moment. The audio, I don't know what to say anymore, Copelia. I really don't know what to say. Here you go. Here's the announcement right there. And yeah, I don't know what to say. Well, I do know what to say. I'm just going to try and put it in words because I'm still trying to process all of this. John has said that it's not going to happen. He regrets it. He's sad that it's not going to happen. He will remain an Omonoia fan. It's a team that he loves. He wishes the club luck. But for whatever reason, it hasn't happened. And it's not going to happen. And this, boys and girls, has thrown a lot of question marks. A lot of question marks. Now, let's be 100% honest, right? Uncle Baba Stavro's come in and he's changed the club's fortunes. We've had 2 successful seasons. The finances are, manageable. The money's coming from European escapades last season, and we'll get more from this season, no doubt. But it's disappointing. And the reason, I'll tell you why it's disappointing that the deal hasn't happened. Not because I want Baba Stavro to go. No, I'm not one of these people that I have, get rid of him. He needs to sell the club. He's a shit owner. I'm not that kind of person. And as I just said, we've had a lot of success under him recently compared to where we were 4, 5, 6 years ago. The club's worked wonders and he's done well in terms of recruiting, management, staff. All right. The strength and conditioning issue is ongoing. The issue with the vice president is ongoing. There are murmurs about disagreements between Larco and Simo and everyone else. You hear all these different stories. And I don't like talking about things I don't know too much about. And I don't like talking about things where we don't know the full facts. But on this occasion, we know the fact is the deal's not going to happen. Already my phone is just blowing up. People messaging me left, right, and center. People messaging me saying it's devastating. We've been baited. We've been bamboozled. We've expected so much. We're disappointed. And the fact of the matter is this. Potentially, we had a billionaire owner who is a fan, who we assumed, and don't forget, we're just assuming that he would spend money. This is the thing. You hear that there's a billionaire owner that's going to take over the club, and immediately you're assuming he's going to spend, and that's how things are going to happen. Let's be 100% honest here. No one knew what his plans were for the club. Okay? We don't know if he was going to come in and spend money everywhere. We don't know. We didn't know if he was going to come in and keep his hands in his pockets and just rely on the club to be self-sustainable. We don't know. So again, the excitement is there, saying, yeah, he was going to come in, he was going to spend money on players. And I got excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to lie. But the fact is, was he going to spend money? We don't know what the negotiations were about. Did he want to buy the club outright? And Uncle P didn't want to sell outright? Did he only want 50%? Did he want to go in an agreement? Again, this is just conjecture. We don't know why the deal has broken down. Maybe Uncle Baba Stavros said, listen, You buy the club, you take on the debt, however much it is, whether it be 13 million euros or 18 million, however much it is, and you take full control of the club, but you take control of everything. But you have to keep some of my people here. Again, we don't know. So there's more to it than just them sitting at a trapezi or having a cafe to have govendes and discussing. There's a lot more to it. But what concerns me is that how for so long people were saying, you know, he's coming to the stadium, he's meeting the owner, he's been taking photographs of the inside the stadium, and you know, he's in Omonoia, and people have been telling me that someone told me yesterday the deal was done, and I'm quite shocked that it hasn't happened, because the person that told me this information is usually spot on. So obviously something's happened between now and yesterday for it to be a no deal. And again, we dreamed about a rich future, a new stadium. You know, this guy to come in and completely change our fortunes. And again, it's just a dream, and it was just a dream. I'm gutted. Again, not because I wanted Babastavlu to leave, but I'm gutted because this was an exciting prospect. But then again, better the devil you know, right? And no, the grass ain't always greener on the other side, as they say. And I'm just going to send Roy the link to jump on, because he wants to jump on, obviously. So just give me 2 seconds. Because Roy is I'm going to send it to Chris just in case. Send it to Roy. Chris hasn't said anything. Right, it's on. Right. So he's got it now. So let's just put some messages up there. Costantino, something is going wrong in this story. Something doesn't feel right. Well, what do you think? What do you think has happened, Costantino? Bemo. Diego, what's going on? I don't understand what has happened for this not to happen, for this deal not to happen. You're disappointed. Why are you disappointed? I need to know why you. What were you hoping? What were you hoping to come from this? I'm not being sarcastic. I just want to hear your side of things. To be honest, I'm glad that the whole thing has come to an end. We need stability right now. Yeah, we do need stability, and I guess not knowing what's going on is I think because we don't know the reason. We don't know anything. We're in the dark about everything. We're in the dark about players' injuries. We're in the dark about, like, look at Gusu. We don't know what's happening with him. I'm hearing that he's going abroad for an operation. I don't know, you know. But then I'm seeing people saying loading. So is he going to be back? I don't know. So there's so much uncertainty, and no one really knows what the fuck is going on. Let's have a look. Hope it's not a bad decision. Well, there've been a lot of bad decisions, and there've been a lot of good decisions. So time will tell, Gobelia. Time will tell. So we don't know what's going on. Yeah, because the terms that were given to the public by rumors were very encouraging. Nek filemu, I know Allah. They're just rumors, and there we don't. As I said, we don't know the facts, so we're going by rumors. Someone that says something, that says something. It's Chinese whispers, as they say. I'm going to add Roy here. Hello there.
Hello there.
Maxine.
There.
You tell me, because I don't know what's going on. Yesterday we were told that it's done.
The truth is, no one really knew a lot of details. Someone put it the very right way. The only information we know is either bullshit or things that someone wanted to put out purposely to confuse about where the negotiations were standing. We never really had the chance to talk about this personally, but yeah, whether we like it or not, or whether we are big fans of investors in football, the prospect of John Christodoulou excited a lot of fans. First and foremost, because he's a very successful businessman, Okay, the fact that he supports Omonia doesn't say too much to me, because when you're a ruthless businessman, things like that don't really matter. And in modern football, they don't really matter. The truth is, Papastavrou, during his time, has done a lot of good things, made Omonia move into professionalism, something we were lacking on many levels. Granted, some people might say some bad things about him, but mostly the things he did were really good, and the club has progressed under his presidency. To be absolutely sure, I don't know what to say. It's not as if I've got, the fresh news and I was keen to jump onto. It's mostly to have a chat with you, and we can see a bit of the messages as well. The truth is that, you can't say you missed something when you never really had it. Okay, so it
Yeah,
wasn't as
exactly.
if
It's like having the lucky on the winning lottery ticket. Yeah, you never had it in the first place, so what's the point in crying over it?
yeah, it's like dreaming if you do win it. Okay, what I'm gonna risk saying is Papastavrou is not the easiest negotiator. He has proved in all of his history in the club that when it comes to negotiations, he's a very tough negotiator. And I'm probably thinking that, again, it's just I'm guessing. I don't know anything, but if you go back in the early days when he wanted to invest and buy Omonia, he would bargain till the last cent. He did it with Primetel. He did it with a lot of other things with Gassi B. So you can see that he's gonna try and earn as much as possible from this whole deal. Now, I don't know, but I'm guessing that maybe Christodoulou similarly as a successful businessman, because no one, we're dreaming that, these billionaires and millionaires, are going to spend the money left, right, and center without thinking about it. No, they care. They care about the money, and that's not how they became millionaires and then billionaires.
Yeah, you don't become a billionaire by being a butcher that just bends over for everyone. You got to be ruthless, and that's something that I was saying at the beginning. Like, it was a dream that he was going to come in, and we were thinking that he was going to sign all these players. But the fact is, he might have thought, right, I'm coming in, I'm just going to operate the club the same way, because you got to save your money. You don't become like this billionaire by spending money left, right, and center. When he buys his businesses or when he buys property or whatever he does his research. And he's probably looked at the club and thought, well, if the club is worth 23 million paradigma, right? But they've got 13, 15 million euros debt, that's another 13, 15 million on top of what the club is, or how much is going to pay for it. So, yeah, but there's also other things that I mentioned before. I don't know if you caught the first few seconds of the show, but I was saying that, maybe in the negotiations, Papastavrou said, Ndaxi, you can either buy 50-50 or you have to buy the whole club. Or if you do buy the club, then you have to keep my people here, the people that I've employed to oversee operations. We don't know what was said at the Trapezi when they're having their vendors or negotiating. No, of course not. I know, but this is what I'm saying. Like, these deals, and don't forget, these deals, they go on for months there. It's not as if it's something that happens overnight. So we don't know if this has been rambling on for a year and a half. It isn't just like, Christodoulou turn around saying, pick up the phone and say, right, I want to buy your club. That's not how it works. Like, there's processes, and obviously this process, and perhaps maybe he's looked at the situation with the other clubs and how Papastavrou deals with the Ghazi B and how he's dealt with the media, how he's dealt with, Abuel, etc., and the referees, and he's probably thought, fuck this is too much hassle for me. I'm not that kind of person.
Like we mentioned earlier, we're just guessing, we're speculating, we don't know what's going on. Most of the negotiations take place with the teams. It's the lawyers, the accountants. It's not actually Christodoulou and Papastavrou sitting on a table and having a back and forth, you know. They've got their advisors, the legal advisors, obviously, financial advisors, and they're the ones negotiating. So I'd guess that the fact that they're both in Cyprus, or at least Papastavrou is for sure. There's talk about John Christodoulou being here as well. Actually, some even said that they might watch the game together tomorrow. But from what it looks, you know, if it wasn't John Christodoulou issuing an announcement about how the negotiations come to an end, I would still have hope. If it was someone else, I thought that it was a tactical move. But now it seems like, you know, it's just over. You know, I don't know whether it was like a tactical move from John Christodoulou, and then, you know, people are gonna say, we're gonna lose our only opportunity or whatever, because we don't know as well if Papastavrou can stay. What's the deal now? They put it out as if Papastavrou has to sell Omonia because of his growing businesses in the States, and he's buying banks, and that by law doesn't allow him to be a president of a club. Now, I know there's ways to work around that and whatever. Allah, if that's the case, and now Christodoulou just, you know, said bye-bye, you can't help but wonder, because for me, I don't care about Papastavrou, I don't care about Christodoulou. I care about my team. Okay, so obviously...
Apparently there's going to be a statement on Friday, apparently, from Papastavrou, apparently.
Έτσι να γίνει. Είπε ότι η ώρα 11 είναι κανονισμένο. Η ώρα 11 την Παρασκευή είναι να φτιάξει μιλήσει. And people were hoping that he was going to talk about the progress, or maybe announce the happy news that, you know, they've reached an agreement. But now I'm even more curious to see.
Thing is, what does this do for the relationship between the fans and Papastavrou now? Because we know so much has happened in the past, which we're not going to go into, but the fans now that were wanting him to sell and he hasn't sold, does that put pressure on him now? Does that ruin his relationship with us? And on top of that, how does he feel knowing that fans, I wouldn't say want him out, but they were happy with the thought of another guy coming in instead of him?
Okay, listen, the people who didn't want Papastavrou for ethical reasons, not because they've got something personal with him, it's ideological. We all know how Omonia 29 Maiou got created is because of the disagreement they had with the way Omonia was going to be run. Okay, so most of the people who were 100% against, I repeat, not Papastavrou per se or himself, it wasn't personal, it was just someone running the club that, you know, the way they did, like the most aggressive form of capitalistic, one owner having to run the club. Now, from that point onwards, I think there's a lot of fans that have appreciated and see Papastavrou as a very successful president. Now, it's, you know, you said earlier that, you know, you better stay with the devil that you know. Let's see. Okay, it's wishful thinking, because I had a lot of questions. Okay, John Christodoulou comes in and he's a guy that's a billionaire. Obviously, you don't become a billionaire by being stupid or naive or by getting fucked around and bossed around or whatever. So maybe in a scale, what he has achieved, running a club in Cyprus wouldn't be very difficult, you know, even though έχει τη βρωμιά του το ποδόσφαιρο για τούτα. Τώρα, για τον Παπασταύρου, if the team continues to work professionally and bring in titles or going to Europe, because okay, you can't expect that you're going to win the title every year. But other than the titles and the European appearances that we've had the last couple of years, Omonia started working professionally on many levels, and that's something Omonia was lacking in the previous years. Communication-wise, the training ground, the physios, all of these things. So all of these things. So I don't see Papastavru as someone who did something wrong, but they say, oh, look, it's a millionaire versus a billionaire, and the billionaire is an Omonia supporter, and probably he wouldn't mind spending a bit more money, So I think we were just hoping that he was going to come in and, I don't know, spend a million or two in January to buy 4 players, and then να μας χτίσει γήπεδο και να μας τα κάνει ούλα και ξέρεις, we're going to build a dynasty and we're going to become, the biggest team in Cyprus and start winning the trophies. And I think this is it. It was mostly dreaming. And we were led to believe, not obviously officially from Omonia, but the information that came out, it was that probably they're gonna reach an agreement. But anyway, I
don't know. I'm just I think we were anticipating it to happen, and a lot of people, myself included, were excited about the prospect. And I said at the beginning, we can't rule out, or should I say, denigrate what Papastavru has done since taking over the club. 2 top finishes, European football. So the formula has worked. But I think if we were top of the league, Dora, and we were, doing well in Europe. No, let's forget Europe. Let's say we were top of the league, Dora. I don't think people would be that disappointed with the deal not going through. But I think because of the way that things have happened this season, because of the injuries, because of this, because of that, blah, 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 this was supposed to be, like, in our eyes, or in many people's eyes, the turning point. New owner, fresh start, potential new investment, potential new players, potential new stadium. Jedorah, it's gone up in flames. That being said, as I said before, we didn't know. It was just a dream. So we didn't know if he was just going to come in and say, right, I'm just going to operate the club how it's going at the moment because it's sustainable. So what's the point in pumping so many millions in? The club's got a stadium, albeit ground sharing. The club's got the training facility, which is being upgraded. And that's what Papastavru is doing. He's going to upgrade it. I think they're going to spend 5 million, apparently, on sorting out the training ground. So, and Duxie, listen, we just got to take it on the chin. And listen, you can never say never. You just don't know if at the end of the season he's going to come in again. You don't know. But for now, I think the most important thing is, as Dasso said, where is it? The deal's not done. Let's move on, and that's it. We move on. We got a European game Avril. We got Ethnico at the weekend. Just got to move on, Ray. Just got to move on and just take it on the chin. Yes, it's disappointing, but again, we can't be ungrateful for what Papastavru has done for us. That's my take on it.
Yeah. Εντάξει ρε φίλε, anyway, I always put Omonia on top of anyone, and at least in my mind, whether it's disappointing or not is one thing out of the way, because when we were discussing about the problems that we are facing, we also mentioned the insecurity about who is gonna be running the club. So that's whether we like it or not, we don't have another option. For the time being, it seems like we're going to have to move, I don't know, with Papastavru. Well, that's the thing. Μπορεί και αύριο ο Παπασταύρου να πει «Εν μπορώ ρε φίλε, δεν ξέρω». Ποιος είναι να βουρά την Ομόνια.
We don't even know if there's another investor coming in there. We don't. This is another thing. It could be a silent investor, someone quiet that's been kept under the radar. Maybe someone that's not even from Cyprus, because, people talk. Maybe there's another American investor out there that, again, we don't know. It's just speculation. And, but the bottom line is the deal is off. and we move on. Let me put some comments up there very quickly because I was only going to do half an hour on this. We've done 25 minutes, so let's have a look.
Anyway, I gotta go because I have to go pick up my daughter.
Ducks.
Εντάξει.
Άντε.
Yeah, I'll watch it later. Εντάξει.
Εντάξει. Χαιρετισμούς, φίλε μου.
Άντε. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Here we go. So why not? Uncle wants the Leeds to continue his business. So what's the reason to say no to the only offer he has? Well, as I just said, we don't know if there is another offer. There might be another one that we don't know about, a better offer. We don't know. But again, speculating. Because there are not many billionaires own the team they really support. True. But then again, if you look at all the billionaires around the world, I know it's a bad example. If you look at the Paris Saint-Germain, if you look at Man City, if you look at Newcastle, how many of those people that own the club actually support them? They don't. They're all businesses at the end of the day. They're all businessmen. So whatever. He'll not be spending however John will feel the fans' vibe. Yeah, true. But let's be 100% honest. If he takes over the club and we have a bad season, it's, oh, he's a shit fan. He's this, he's that. Maybe he doesn't want that. Maybe he doesn't want that drama, etc. Hope things don't get worse. I hope they don't get worse either, to be honest with him all. But, we just got to take it as it is. Time is a healer, as they say. Maybe it's just mind games. Hopefully it's just that. Well, he's made an official statement, Dora. And I doubt that'll go sideways. But again, you never know. He might come in the summer. We don't know. This issue should not be out in the media. You're right. It should. But the thing is you can't stop these things from being leaked. There are people that talk. And there are people that talk to newspapers. There are people that talk to the media. There are people that talk to, go online. You can't stop it. You can't do it. Eda. Nothing Omonoia does is silent. Bravo. Everything, everyone knows. Everyone knows. Mike Ashley is loaded now. Let's approach him. There, Mike Ashley only got 300 million. And to be honest, if he does come in, he's probably going to appoint Alan Pardew or Dennis Wise or fucking Steve Bruce. Can you imagine? Imagine if he brings John Carver back. Oops. Omonoia. There you go. I think that's spot on. We support the club, not the presidents, not the potential owners, whatever. It is what it is, Gobella. It is what it is. And as I said before, we just need to continue back in the club and don't forget what Baba Stavro has done for us. It was a dream. It was an oniro to bring someone in that would potentially spend money. But I repeat myself, we didn't know if he was going to spend money. There wasn't a guarantee that he was going to spend money. So, we got what we need. And another fuck up there. Bemwell. Yeah, I know it's going to be an unanswered mystery, Andy. I know, Filemo. But who really knows the truth apart from the people that are involved in the deal? Who? No one does. It's all paramithia, ne? It's all historias. So what can we do? Are we going to sit here and cry about it? Nothing. But it is what it is. People are going to talk to me about, Baba Stavro and how he didn't bring in certain players, how, we didn't tie up Akindola, how we didn't bring in Lufna. It takes money. It takes big money to bring these players in. And it takes big money for signing on fees. It takes big money for their wages. And we just ain't at that level to be spending a shit ton of money on players. We ain't at that level. And the last time we did spend big on players, the club went down the shitter. And there. So, what can you do? There you go. Frugal clubs of the future. Sooner or later, European football will introduce revenue-linked salary. Filimo, there's fair play. There's financial fair play, but clubs get around it. You look at Man City, for fuck's sake. They named their stadium Etihad, which is the airline owned by Mansour. They find ways to get around it. They do. Honestly, they do. And regardless of what FIFA say about fair play doesn't exist. Whether it be on the pitch or off the pitch, it doesn't exist. If you've got money, then, it is what it is. It is what it is. Right. This is the second person that's mentioned this fella. Is this a mythical character? I don't know who he is. I really don't know who he is. Fuck knows. I don't know. All I know is that it's an app. It's like, who is this person? Like I said, I'm not out there with you guys. I don't know these people's names. You know, I don't know who the fuck they are. But anyway, guys, I've gone on for half an hour on the dot, like I said I would. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to do another live Bob set. It's going to be a preview of the FC Basel game. So yeah, I've got Oliver Zesica on. He's an FC Basel fan. He came on the last preview to talk about FC Basel, and he also works for Football Manager, that really, really addictive game. So anyway, Scrooge McDuck. I don't know. I don't watch Disney. I used to listen. I worked for Disney for 2 years, yeah, in their social media team, and I paid no attention to characters. Oh, Scrooge. Okay. Fuck's sake, man. See, you lot got me. Scrooge, that's what you guys call him, isn't it? Okay. You lot fucking got me good and proper on the live as well. Bravo, Saz. All right. I'll give you that. You motherfuckers. But I love you all, man. Hade. Naste gala. And tune in tonight, 9 o'clock Cyprus time. Until next time, none of this money business.